We happen to have a group of Santa Clara University MBA students volunteer to do an analysis of our website and our web marketing, and they made a bunch of recommendations for us, and we actually implemented them, and it's been a really big success for us. And we're continuously redefining our marketing plans. So we're learning how to use all of the social media opportunities out there, how to really capitalize on PR, etc. And so, and that's a changing dynamic every day. I hear of some new thing that you have to go do. So Foursquare and all of that. So we actually have a calendar, and everybody in the business takes turns posting to all the different social media areas so that we know who's doing what when, and not one person has to deal with it all the time. So what are the lessons learned? So I think the main thing is you have to love what you're doing. So there isn't a day that I don't wake up and I can't wait to get into my kitchen and play with some chocolate and talk to some people and work with some customers. So you gotta always have that passion and love what you're doing and know where you're going. You have to conserve cash, because like last year, nobody could get credit. So if you really wanted to expand, you couldn't find the money usually. So make sure you manage your P&L. And then hire and retain great people. So as a small business, I found no one was giving benefits to people in my business. And basically you hired people and you told them what to do and they executed. And I never learned that. I worked in big companies and we had big leadership programs and we always empowered our employees. So I've just applied what I learned in the big corporate world into my small business, and it's been really good. I've been able to retain my employees, my good employees. So we give them benefits, we listen to them, so if they have ideas, we use them, and I trust them to do their job, and I think that's huge. So I think you need to seize opportunities too. So you've heard from all of us that things fell in our laps and we didn't run from them, we seized them. It's really important to not say, oh no, I don't think we can do that. It's scary. You just say, okay, sure, we can do it, and then you go and figure it out later. You go and cry to your husband, I have no idea what I'm doing. And they say, that's all right, you'll be fine. And then I think you need to continuously look for ways to acquire new customers. And you also need to really make sure your existing customers know how much you appreciate them, because losing a customer hurts and you need to keep them. And then you should make sure you can live without a paycheck for a few years. So, I mean, really don't think you're gonna be rich quick. So that's it.
So I have one question for each of them that I'm going to go through, and then we'll go ahead and open it up to the audience. I'll start with Karen. I had a question written down here, but I threw it out the window because I have something else I want to know. You started from a very humble place, we'll say, and lots of difficulties, lots of uphill battles to realize your vision of being a very successful baker. And so what I want to know is, why did you do it all for pastries? What is it about pastries that you love so much that just drove you to move mountains in order to make it happen?
I think, for me, it was more about being independent and having a business, and so it's more the passion of business than it was just pastry. I envy the serial entrepreneur model in some ways, and I very easily could have done that if I had, if I'd have just gone a different way. And I'm always fascinated with new ideas, and they're just kind of always going in my head. And, we do a social component. We set up a scholarship, and there's an entrepreneurial way that works. And so that, for me, that's it. It's running business. And there's lots of things to be passionate about, and that's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
Good answer. That's what I was curious about. For Mary Furlong, talk a little bit about, as a serial entrepreneur, how your vision remains the same despite maybe each different manifestation or iteration of it? How do you hold on to that vision, or does it change over time?
I once went to Lloyd Morrissett's office in New York, and one of the things I think you need to learn is how to pitch your business. So I went to ask for $1 million, and of course it was a girl thing. I didn't know what to wear. Do I wear orange? You're in the elevator saying, does this look all right? I've got to ask this guy for $1 million. Two of the most successful fundraising things I had in New York. One was that $1 million I needed to keep SeniorNet alive. I don't think I wore the right thing, but I must have said something right about where I thought we were going in the next. See, I think you can really only plan 18 months out. You should have a 6-month plan and an 18-month plan. How did we know we needed to? The CTO of Twitter has 1 million people following her. I only have I don't know how many, but I have to say something smart about this market every day that I go on Twitter. So one thing I would say is you should have a vision for the next 6 to 18 months. Now, when I pitched Mel Karmazin, I pitched Fred Reynolds, the CFO of Viacom. And it was interesting, because I didn't have the website the way I wanted it, but I had 2 chapters in a book, which he handed to his wife and said, on an airplane, does Mary understand this market? He said, you can't do this without pitching Mel Karmazin. Let me go get Mel. So I didn't have a lot of time to prepare, but I had to have those words right in 5 minutes. And whatever I said, you should always be prepared to say the 4-minute pitch. So the one thing I would say, I asked Lloyd, how far am I along the path? Am I halfway there? He said, it depends how far you're going. Well, when I look at what's going on in Israel and China, and I'm in the privileged position of watching 5 teams get created with the top venture capitalists, I don't know. I still think I'm in the early stage of this vision. I think I'm 25% there. I think I have to work out tomorrow so I can live long enough to see the vision happen. And so I think it really depends. And then the last thing I wanted to say is I think coupons really matter. So when you meet such talented people as people on stage, if we can find a way to send the muffins to the people who spoke at our class for their companies, and we can find a way to get you coupons for the chocolates. I'm about to have, just one more sentence, I'm about to have someone, I always wanted to run Meals on Wheels. I'm about to have someone send me 20 meals on Wednesday. I have no confidence that what food in those boxes are going to be what I think they should be. But I think with a biscuit in the box could be kind of interesting going out. And so here's perhaps a new customer for you. So when you meet these entrepreneurs, always be thinking about the new customers. And I saw the data at ARP on coupons and everyday discounts, and I saw the data at Google on discounts. And if there's a way for you to get a coupon inside this, I could be a smash hit.
Thank you, Mary. Okay, there we go, we're on it. Thank you, Mary. Okay, now for Mary Loomas. Can you talk a little bit about maybe what was the most difficult aspects or challenges of your transition from high tech to your own business in chocolate making?
So I can tell you very specifically, I had an administrative assistant when I was in high tech who took care of all that stuff that I had no idea how to do, like filing and organizing and making my arrangements for everything I needed in my appointments. And I no longer had someone to take care of me organizationally. And so I found that to be a huge challenge, was how do I keep myself organized so I can figure out, because you're wearing a million hats when you're an entrepreneur, and a small business owner. You're the accountant, you're the sales and marketing director, I'm the producer of the product, I'm the packaging guy, I have to make sure that the floors are mopped too some days. So you have to be really organized, and I found that to be very difficult.